got Michelle back.
Yay!
And Melissa's feeling better.
And Melissa is not gone.
And Melissa's not gone. Yes, yes. And Jennifer will not be joining us this evening. She has another engagement. But yeah, so what's everyone up to tonight? What's your weather like?
Our weather is beautiful.
I know.
I hate to say it. I'm sorry, and I apologize for having good weather over here. But today was a gift.
Yeah.
So beautiful.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Sat out on my back porch and was working on stuff for a little while just to get some vitamin D.
Yeah, I kind of did that yesterday here because the sun comes through our big windows, and I'm like, I am sitting here soaking it up. It wasn't quite as warm as it should be, but it did a little bit of a trick. So we'll see. But
Thank you, Lori. Yes, I'm feeling better. I mean, I wasn't feeling bad. I just took some
just
time.
took a break.
Hello, Ashley.
Hello,
There's
Ashley. Hi, Lori.
So anyway, yeah, we got some yucky weather today, but it should be turning around here. We'll have some more snow here and there, I hope, but February's been brutal. Oh, usually it's January that's bad for us, but February's been brutal. So makes me go, maybe I should switch my months and go south for February now instead of January, but we'll see. So we had our meeting last night. Oh, let me just say, for any new viewers, welcome to the Groomer's Cut. And if this is your first time viewing us, or you're going to leave a comment, please give permission to Facebook through StreamYard so that we can see your names in our chat. Otherwise, we just see Facebook user. This is streaming on 9 different platforms now. And so some of you might not see the questions that we are following as you're watching. So we'll try to keep up with all the comments and all the action that's going on all platforms and keep you posted on what's going on. So last night we met together. Hi, Lisa, Ashley, Catherine, or Kat Samard is here. We got a group. Last night, the Master Groomer Council of Best Practices met, and we had our meeting. So Michelle, you led that. If you want to go ahead, we had some new faces in it last night. Some new members have joined, and it's growing. So I'll let you go forward with that.
So there's some very big things coming up, legalities, licensing type things coming up. So we did spend our hour last night talking about, in general, some of the new legislation that's coming out and where we all stand on it, how we feel about it. We presented a bunch of cons, I feel like, last night. So
we
that
did.
I'm going to
you were right.
on. The next meeting will probably be a continuation of that to have as many pros as we can to all the things that we conned. So, so that's basically where we're at without giving too much away to the general public. You have to join up and be a part of it.
Yes.
You can absolutely send in your application, have your voice heard, and are you working on your master's? Because that's how you get voting rights. Woo! So
there you have it. So, yeah. And we were going to have a guest tonight, but I'm not sure if she got my email in time. Do you have her text message? Can you text her?
Who, babe?
Ashley.
She's right here.
Is that the right Ashley Ann?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's right there.
Hi, Ash.
Right. Is that Ashley Pelletier?
I think so.
That's what I'm.
Yeah.
Ash, if it is, then tell her, Ashley, I sent you an email. Go on it. You have a link there. I thought so. Okay. You have a link in your email, so you need to go click on that link, and I will pull you in so you can be in the group tonight. Who,
Yes.
me?
Yes. Go in your email.
Yes, you. Oh my God, she's so cute.
She's adorable.
Yes, you are. Yeah, so we'll give her a minute to get there. So later on, we're finally wrapping up our holistic month. So I'm sure everyone's like, oh, are we done yet? But yeah, tonight, what are we going to talk about tonight? Being present, being available at the time of the session, and learning how to set your own issues aside. That is tough, isn't it?
It is tough. And I'm here to tell you, learning how to set those things aside and take time for yourself is equally as important. You have to be as mindful of care for yourself as you do for everything else around you. If your cup is not full, you cannot then fill someone else's with your empty cup.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely replenishing matters. Taking time away matters.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely not making your life so convoluted that you can't think straight or find peace somewhere in your day. So I think all those things are really important.
Living in the moment. Understanding that you have to live. It's great to plan and it's great to have goals and it's great for all that stuff. But we also always have to remember that we only have these moments right now. So to really be present in those moments. Sometimes we get so far ahead with all our goal planning and our plans in general and all that stuff. And we forget to actually enjoy the moments that get us to meeting those goals or exceeding, our expectations. And you lose a lot along the journey if you're not present during it.
Yeah. All right, we're going to get back to that. I am going to bring Ashley in. There she is. Hi.
Hello.
Welcome.
Thanks.
So, would you like to give us an update on what you're doing in class? Well, the ones you finished.
Well, I just finished note taking. I showed Michelle my book. It's getting very thick.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And that's from the first 3 classes.
Yeah.
Well, the first 3 sections.
Sections.
Yeah, there's many classes.
Oh, I gotcha.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah. I finally got diagnosed with ADHD earlier this year, and I'm still trying to figure out which is the best study method for me. And I finally got to the point where I just decided to take notes of Michelle's classes verbatim. Because I keep missing things, so it's like, well, I guess I'm just going to start writing everything. And I missed so much, apparently.
Yeah, but you are flying through this.
Well, I've had time.
Yeah, you put your nose to the grindstone. You've really been, you have done due diligence, girl.
Mm-hmm.
We are happy to say that Miss Ashley is one of the first pet estheticians who is graduated from level 3.
It's right here.
So she is now
Congratulations
for salon environment. And she is also pursuing her master's, which is the next level.
Mm-hmm.
So you should be hearing from her very soon.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Good for you.
I can't just stop half part of the way through. No, I have to go all the way.
I know, and she's been emailing me about what's next. What am I going to do next? Where do I go next with this? I'm like, well, wait, let's finish this. Just like you were saying, being present, being in the moment.
Well, I was going through all the classes, other classes that are available, at the Whole Pet Grooming Academy, and I was like, ooh.
We are working hard.
So having gone through, I do have a couple of questions for you, Ashley. Having been through the first 3 levels of this particular course, we were talking a little bit about this the other day. Is this something that you can get anywhere else?
No.
Yeah.
And I've even done the first module for the other one. Yeah. Can I say it?
Sure. Yeah. I mean,
I've done the I've St. Bernard module 1.
Yeah.
And I actually had found that first. because it was on sale and stuff. And so I ordered it, and then I'm friends with Mary Oquendo, and I told her what I was doing. She's like, oh, no, you need to talk to Michelle Knowles. And so I did that. And
what are you learning in this particular course that you really can't find anywhere else? What is the content? Why is it so different?
I wish I had saw the email sooner so I can pull this out of my brain. That the biggest thing is that I can actually help a dog with skin issues. Mm-hmm. It can be done. Mm-hmm. I don't have to just pretend that or hope that I'm going to get some type of results without really any information. I actually can now do it. Mm-hmm. I haven't had a chance to do it yet because I'm very brand new into my mobile. But I have an interview with a vet's office tomorrow. Mm-hmm. And hoping to start getting some clients, especially those that are in need of therapy. Yeah. I my go-to before doing this was Soothe from Show Seasons. Mm-hmm. And while it would help, it never cured anything. It never fixed the problem. The dog didn't itch for a while, but I didn't know that you actually have to really go at it and do something at least every week and get a vet diagnosis and all of the extra stuff. And now I actually have something that I can work towards instead of just winging it.
Mm-hmm. Do you feel like it gives you the groundwork to build a therapeutic program, that you can say, now I know how to build upon this instead of trying to throw product at it?
Yeah, well, now I actually can think about it and realize that there are steps that can be taken to actually get to a goal instead of just hoping that I'm going to get somewhere with it.
Right.
It's going to help me, discuss this with clients so that we can actually create a plan of action and really do something. Mm-hmm. And I'm so excited about it.
Can I ask how long you've been grooming?
This is my 11th year.
11 years. Okay. And when you started, what did you think of having done other skin and coat classes? When you started this, how did you feel it was a little, was it different and I'm asking because I haven't taken it in spare time. So not all of us do everybody's classes. I kind of do all the business stuff. So,
well, we don't have all the time. I wish I had all the time. I'd be doing everything.
I know, exactly. So we all pick and choose our strengths and our strong suits for you here. So did you think it was, how did you feel it was compared in terms of the education? Higher, lower, right, equal with it, starting out?
Prior to starting Michelle's course, I had just finished my Dermatech and Certified Pet Groomer through ISCC. Mm-hmm. And Pam's work is the best foundational start. Mm-hmm. It really sets a solid foundation to, how to properly bathe, blow dry, temperature, all of that. And then but I just felt I wanted to get deeper than that. I wanted more. I had someone message me on Facebook that was having trouble with a dog, and I wasn't able to help her. I was like, I don't quite have enough knowledge in my head to really help her with the problems she had. And so that's when I started looking into, doing something that was farther than that. So Michelle's course definitely builds on top of the Dermatech that ISCC offers. It's mm-hmm. the next step, literally.
Mm-hmm. That's fantastic. That's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah.
I'm looking to fill a niche. I'm looking to fill that gap because so many of the great ones, that I stand upon their shoulders. Absolutely. For some reason, we couldn't get past that barrier mm-hmm. Of, up into veterinary medicine. There was always that weird gap there, yep. where either one of us weren't willing to cross. So I'm really happy to fulfill that niche. I'm really happy there. That's where I shine. It's my very favorite. in the whole wide world.
Yeah.
I think it took Ashley about 2 months.
Yeah, that's what Ashley. Lisa was asking how long it took you to get to this point.
But I do need to note that I did not work during this time. So I literally had nothing better to do.
She hounded me. That's what she's really saying. But you know what? That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a questing mind. She is a true learner. She will ask you questions. Kat, who's sitting right here in the room, she's also a student. She's the very same way. And you know what? Our brains work so similarly. You know, did you say squirrel? Now I have to know every variety of squirrel and memorize them by tomorrow. So, I mean, they really are. They will nitpick everything and catch all your mistakes. But that's how we all learn. You know, so I love when you ask questions. I think that's the most important thing.
Yeah.
I think one of my favorite things about Michelle's course is she drops little Easter eggs. And I'm not going to say any of them because I don't want to ruin it for anybody. But every time I found one, I had to send her a message and laugh hysterically when I found it. Because I have that kind of sense of humor. So it just made it even better. I'm like, please keep doing that. Because I really love it.
I got to hear about these after.
One of them I had to re-record, and let's just put it that way, because I was unaware of that particular Easter egg. So it's also hilarious.
Got it.
I'm so glad I got to witness that. Really.
Were you the one? Did you point it out to her?
Yeah, I did.
Oh,
it was great. Yeah,
okay,
I'm not going to say any more about that.
This is why I want to do this now, but sadly not working. Okay.
Well, we'll be here.
I was just going to say that. They'll be there.
Yes, and we do have financing now, so.
Ooh. Oh, that's good.
Yeah, so the bigger classes, it's good. So that could help. And it is Lisa, it is a pay as you go. You do one class and pay for the one class and then work into the next one. It doesn't have to be all up front right away. So
right, it's like college.
That helps. Yep.
It's like college. The structure is very similar.
I got lucky that I just happened to have it, and I found Michelle's course when I did. I've not been able to do a dang other thing else but that since. Like I missed that Skin and Coat Summit, and I was so mad because I'm like, I don't have any more money.
Yeah,
but it's okay. I mean, look at this thing, and it's only gonna get worse once I'm in part 4.
Yeah, but look at this thing.
I know, I'm so excited.
But look at that. I mean, come on. You are the second in the country.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
That's for you.
Michelle got hers, and you are the first graduate of this level.
Oh, wow. Well, now I got to keep it going.
See, that's why I said, look at this thing. Yeah. Being present. We're being present.
I'm so excited. I am so excited about it.
Yeah. Oh, and Lisa, give me a call. We can work it out.
Absolutely.
I know you and I have talked before, so.
Yeah, and they all count. They all are credited toward your diploma because it is a diploma course. This has been a very long time in the making, and we are coming together. But I'm pleased that at the very same time, we've got these other courses that are so fabulous. That are coming together like crazy. We've got a feline master coming. We've got a history of dog that is right around the corner. We've got sanitation and safety, both salon and personal. We've got animal communication. We've got, it boggles my mind because when this was first a seed that we planted, it was literally 3 people. And to see it grow to this extent is amazing. And sometimes I have to stop and cry a little bit. For the emotion it's a lot. This has been a labor of love the entire way through.
For all of us.
Yes. And just to see the growth of this entity, this being, this new baby is very emotional. And I can't believe it's actually this is our year anniversary.
It is. We were talking about that last night. This is a year exactly that Michelle and I met. Yep. We were in Pasadena.
Yeah.
last
Wow.
year.
Yeah, so we put our nose to the grindstone, and
Yep.
we barely made it. I'm clawing my way. Uh,
Oh,
so
I think it goes for two of us. I'm like, okay, I see the
So,
surface.
yeah. But you know what? We're getting there, and everything's come together really nicely. And
Except for
talk
me, I'm
about
still
staying in
buried
the
over
moment.
here.
You're still what?
I said, except for me, I'm still buried over here.
I
But
said, well, you know, it just as everything's coming together. Talk about being mindful. Literally, to pull all the things that are in the works for our group collectively. You literally I have a huge list, and literally all I think about are probably the first 2 or 3 things on it. And that is about as mindful as you can get. Anything that I could get done that day towards one of those top goals, and I just work my way through the list, and I don't look at how long the list is, because if I did, I'd probably
Panic.
it would be
Yeah.
terrible.
yeah.
So I just keep at the top of the list, and you just keep moving forward and moving forward. And just a little side note to that, for those of you who have dreams and projects that you want to complete, no matter what they are, do you want to write a book? Do you want to teach? Do you want to open up a salon, or close your salon and go to a mobile, or to your home, work from your home? Whatever it is that you're trying to do, make a plan now. Be mindful enough to sit down, even if it's just 10 things that you have to do to get to where you want to be. That will start your journey, and do just 1 to 10 little things every day. And one day you wake up and you have that. You're there already. You're signing the papers. You're putting stuff in boxes or unboxing it, however you want to look at it. So, I mean, that is true mindfulness. That spills over into every piece of your life. Dog is a multifaceted goal for you, not only to share yourself with that being, but also to give it a nice trim or a nice therapy and get paid so you can pay your bills and care for your family, but also that monetary piece that you set aside for your future dreams. You're doing all of that right there with that paw in your hand, trimming around or brushing. Those actions, those things, those thoughts, and that intention while you're doing that is creating your future. Everything is creating how could you possibly be frustrated? How could you possibly be unhappy when every movement of the brush brings you closer to where you want to be in the future? And we really do, in a sense, get to play with dogs while we do it. Who could hate that? That's a dream. That's a dream.
I think you're right. So we need to get rid of that mindset of that instant gratification that you want to be done. Like you, instead of looking at the 10-page list, look at the first couple of things every day and mark off something every day. I mean, I've had so many different ups and downs because of different health issues and things that I've had to go through this past year. And it has slowed me down immensely, but it's also helped me to focus on the things on those lists that are most important and things that can wait until later. And it does give you a better focus when you start to actually stop being so, in my case, scatterbrained, when I always have 10,000 projects going on at one time. Mm-hmm. So, to be present in that moment and say, okay, today I'm prioritizing everything. And when you prioritize, like you said, then you just go, okay, these are the things I have to do today. I'm not even thinking about the stuff I have to do tomorrow. Mm-hmm. I'm just going to be present in the moment and focus on my stuff today.
Right.
And so, that, because I'm a person that suffers from anxiety. And when my things get too much and I feel like I get too far behind, it becomes crippling. Mm-hmm. Then you feel like you can't even move forward and you're not living in any moment at that point, except in the anxiety of it. So, by being mindful and being present, it kind of pulls you back down to where you need to be. Mm-hmm. So, by saying, oh, I wish I could do this, I wish I could do that, but I have to be grooming this dog right now, or
hey,
if I
got a shot at me.
What'd you say, Dara?
I said, hey, is that a shot at me?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, it is.
That was
Yes.
a Freudian slip. That was a Freudian slip. But seriously, if they're going, I don't want to be brushing this doodle. I wish I could be teaching how to do this doodle. Then talk to whoever's, grooming next to you, or talk to your coworkers. And just, if you're really good at something in the salon, start to share that with those that are around you first.
Mm-hmm.
And be present in that moment, instead of being like, I have to say this, guys, the first time I ever taught, like, in a big venue or anything, was with Michelle.
Mm-hmm.
And the first time I ever really got to know Michelle, because Michelle was an idol for me, and I had taken all her classes. And the first time I got to know her, the biggest thing I found out was that I thought she's going to kill me. I thought she was living this big, luxurious life. Yeah, and at all these shows and meeting all these other industry icons, and she's like, nope, I'd go back to my room and work on my PowerPoints, and I was by myself most of the time. And I was just like, oh, I thought you were living this big, fabulous life of parties and all this stuff.
Oh, the jet.
Oh, come on, that's me.
People think that way, though. You really do. People think because you have a name in the business, or you're a recognizable name, that you're famous. But nobody sees what I learned when Michelle was gracious enough to take me under her wing and show me that there's a lot of freaking work. Mm-hmm. That's what it is. It is a lot.
And everybody
Shows
whose name
are
you recognize,
exhausting.
Everybody's name that you recognize is they are people like you.
Yep.
They work nonstop from morning till night, and then they add some hours onto that. Mm-hmm. If they're competing, they're constantly practicing. If they're working on curriculum, they're constantly working on curriculum. Whatever it is they're doing. If they're doing legislation, if they have a state association, if they've got just a salon with a couple of employees, you're always working. We're all working. But can you imagine all of the energy that we have in the industry working toward these common goals? That, to me, is mind-blowing, because together we do create an absolutely force of energy as we catapult ourselves into the future of this industry. So I think so many of us are coming together on technique and how we use product, and why we choose product. This was unheard of even 10 years ago, 20 years ago. Certainly when I started, this was not even a thing. These were questions I'm sure all of us have asked in our young groomerhood, like, oh, well, where's the information on this over here? Why there's a hole over here where there's no data, and slowly but surely we really are filling in those gaps. And I'm so proud of us collectively as an industry. I revere and respect all the people that came before me. I respect all the new people coming in with their fresh faces and their willingness to learn. That just blows me away, man, when I hear the questions. And a lot of times, because they're so new, they'll ask questions I have never even thought of. I'm living in a whole different perspective. I'm sitting over here on this side of the knowledge that I have, and that person's on the other side. They see it from a completely different perspective. Mm-hmm. So sometimes they can really throw you for a loop when they ask you some rhetorical questions. You're like, oh, wow, now I have to really think about my existence as a human being. I have to rethink how I bathe a dog or how I hold a foot, or, it really makes you go deeper into your craft when you put yourself up for critiquing or questions or discussion, especially when it's a fair exchange. I think that's really where you open up as a human and really become a colleague, worthy of your place in the industry, when you can open up like that and build that confidence. It's a matter of confidence as well, as being open enough to listen to other ideas. So.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Let's see. We got some comments over
I know,
here.
reading all that.
Lisa, the challenge is to get more groomers interested in learning more. That is true. That is
It is very true.
that is a hard one. And okay, Facebook user, who are you with the ferrets? Spent a month in biology and history of ferrets for a PowerPoint. Is that Bobby? Yeah, interesting about ferrets. We actually have a bunny coming in on Wednesday.
Oh, fantastic.
I love
Yeah,
bunnies.
I know they
love
are really cute.
bunnies.
Yeah. Mhm.
But I think that
Oh,
that's
it's Angie. Oh,
I
Angie.
was thinking it was Angie. I'm like,
I was
that's
gonna
gotta be
say,
Angie.
yeah, it was
There-
either Bobby or Angie because
Yeah,
Bobby
it's
does
gotta
a
be
lot of research too.
Yeah, that's gotta be Angie. But
I
yeah,
think we usually see Angie's name.
yeah. Why isn't she signed in? We usually see her.
She's
I
busy learning about ferrets. Give her a
She's incognito.
You guys are so harsh today.
How about can I ask a question? What anybody that's listening, and obviously all the ladies here on the panel, why do you think it's so hard for us to reach our fellow groomers? Why do you think it's so hard for us to, because we talked a little bit about this the other night, and this is a common conversation between me and Dara, me and Michelle, Jennifer when she's in here.
Mhm.
Why is it so hard for us to, as a collective industry, we're not the norm, to want to be educated and to help educate.
Mm-hmm.
Why do we struggle so much with saying I know enough? Oh, and my favorite thing is what I always hear is I'm just a pet groomer.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need
Well,
to
I
know.
say that all the time.
I say that too.
I
But
don't say it anymore, but Michelle
don't.
threatened me with bodily harm if I ever did. So
I think I've heard that too from not personally from her, but that you've said she has threatened you with that.
no, because you're
Yeah.
not.
Not just a groomer.
Oh,
You're a
we got it.
caregiver of this animal. You are a knowledgeable professional expert in your field who has skills and knowledge that you just can't get run of the mill. No one goes into a library and cracks open a book and then they buy a clipper and now they're a groomer. That's not how it happens. If you are a quality groomer, even if you just groom pets, you are never just a groomer. You're never just a bather.
Right.
You are a qualified professional who puts your hands on another living creature for your living.
Mm-hmm.
So that
I don't think enough of us have been told that.
Yes. So many have to be told that or reminded.
Right.
And then that also leads into the same question of, well, that's what the client wants, so I have to do it. No, you
don't.
You can absolutely do what is ethically best for that animal in front of you. You are an advocate. And everybody, though, the main gripe is, well, they'll go somewhere else. Okay.
And then they're going to come back.
They're going to come back, and it'll free up a spot for somebody else that comes in.
That
understands what you're saying. Yeah, absolutely. The more people that stand up and do what's ethically proper, I believe will educate enough clients that clients will start asking for those proper services instead of just asking for whatever,
Yeah. Kat in here said many don't want to change and they're happy with what they have and what they already know. That is a big thing. And I think it's Angie again said because people are stuck in their own mindset. I mean, pretty much. Yeah. I also think I think, did I talk about it last week? It was last week I said something. The main groomers in Portland, they meet every month. They get together for breakfast once a month. They raise their prices together. They discuss their services together, and they all have a community together. And they're the only ones in New England who do that. It's crazy. And it's like you try to want to jump in, and they're like, no, you're not a main groomer. They're like, you're not in our clique. but they have formed a
community within their area.
yeah, and I've heard also about that in Georgia, that the mobile groomers in Georgia. I'm going to say this, and I say this every time. Mobile groomers are the friendliest groomers. I don't know what it is about you guys, you mobile groomers, but you tend to work together more frequently, more together with each other. You help each other out. And I noticed that by going to some groomer meetups with Megan, who's a friend of mine here in Massachusetts, and she now lives in New Hampshire. She's always talking with the other mobile groomers. They're getting together, they're working together. If they have problems, they're helping each other out on their vans, or, it's like they have their own community together. But the groomers and the mobile groomers in Atlanta, they change regions, and every month they get together on a Sunday morning for breakfast, and they show off their mobile units to each other, and they help work together. And it's like, and they also, that everybody in the state doesn't have to drive far, so they've worked it so that they all have an abbreviated distance, but change it around so that not everybody has to travel consistently. And I don't know, what is that? It's like a regional thing.
I think a lot
I have
of
a couple
the
comments.
bases get scared that everybody else is their competition.
Yeah. It is. They do. It is. It's why.
People are going to go where they're going to go, so you shouldn't be worried about if there's another salon 2 blocks from you, or, and then another one 4 blocks from that one, because people are going to find where they feel like they are comfortable and where they feel like they fit. And you're always going to have those price point people that are just going to bounce and show no loyalty. But most customers want that same groomer or that same salon because they want reliable, and they want to be loyal, and they feel like that the groomer will be loyal to them as well, or to their pet.
Mm-hmm. And really, it's not even about, cultivating the right kind of clientele. Cultivate the clientele that you want.
Right.
If you don't want to do things a certain way, cultivate clients that don't want to do that either. It's really that simple. And you're the people that agree with your ethics, that agree with your vibe and your quality and your knowledge, they're going to come to you. They're going to find you. They're going to tell a friend. They're going to say, hey, you're like-minded like me. You like the same things for your dog. This is where I take my dog. And really, it will be that way. And I believe that there's space for everybody. There will always be owners that just want shave downs.
Yeah.
So there always will be groomers who provide shave downs. However,
it won't be me.
At every single level, there's going to be a little bit of protocol and standardization of knowledge so that we can do it as healthy and as damage-free as possible for that particular individual. It's just as simple as that. And until we stop seeing each other as some kind of competition or somebody that's above you or below you, there's no hierarchy here. I'm not above or below anyone. I'm a groomer that's groomed a long time. And I've got a bunch of stuff that I've learned along the way. And we all share, we trade secrets and recipes and how to do a foot. And, oh my gosh, I didn't know you use your scissor like that. And, just stuff like that you pick up along the way. That's all of us. So if we just remember that, no one's holding anything above your head saying, oh, well, I'm this or that. And if they are, you probably ought to rethink that relationship. It should be easy. It should be fear-free. Everybody wants to talk about fear-free. How about fear-free?
Everyone's talking about fear-free now, aren't they?
Fear-free groomer colleagues. How about that? Let's have a fear-free industry from each other. I would appreciate that. So
I actually have a couple comments for both topics: the groomers not wanting to be better, and also friendly mobiles. But I'll start with the friendly one first. I actually have a somewhat local mobile groomer who's getting her van worked on next week, and we're going to hang out all day. And see, I don't balk at people watching me. I did house call for a few years. I'm used to people watching me groom. It doesn't bother me. It is what it is. And she has nothing better to do, and we've been chit-chatting, and obviously because of COVID, I haven't really gotten to meet anyone out here since I'm new. And so we're going to spend a whole day together. She's going to come with me to groom a couple dogs and hang out. I told her to bring her stool because I sit to groom. And she's like, no problem. We're good to go. But before I moved, I was managing a salon that had groomers that were the type to not want to be better. One of them just complained constantly, and the other one wanted to do better but couldn't. And a lot of it came down to their lifestyles. All they knew to do was to work in order to pay the bills for the problems that they had at home. And they could never get past that. And I have seen that a lot, that some of them want to move on and get better, but they just can't because they don't have any type of either financial backing at home to take a break, or don't have supportive spouses or what have you. And so they get stuck in a rut, and they don't know how to get out of it. And I had tried helping them, and one wanted it but said she wanted it, and then once it was given to her, she didn't want it anymore. And there's not much you can do with them. There really isn't. You get sick of it after a while, especially after you've worked with the same people forever and you just hear the same tune every time. And it's like, but they're like, I don't know how you did that. And then I show them, and then they're still like, I don't know how you did that. And I feel bad. It's like, I can help you, but I can only help you if you're willing to try something different. Like, you should have seen them when I tried to bring in conditioner. It was like, but my drying's going to take forever. I'm like, no, it's not. It's really not. If you do it correctly, it's not.
Yeah. If you do things correctly, I used to open my class when I worked for a big box store. I used to do trainings for all the groomers, and I used to open up a lot and say to them, okay, first things first, do you want a job or do you want a career? When you look at the word job, when you think of job, when you're here, when I would interview people, and I would always ask that, what are you looking for? I need a job. I just need a job. Or do you want a career? Oh, a career sounds like something way different than a job does. So which end of the spectrum do you want to be at? Yep. Because as somebody that's looking to hire groomers, I'd rather somebody tell me that even if they have no knowledge and they just walked out of grooming school, or they used to groom in their garage or whatever it is, and they say, I want this to be my career. I have a passion for this. I would hire that person over somebody that's been grooming for 25 years and said, I need a job. I got to pay my bills.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's like, do you want to learn how to do things right? Like you said, like introducing new ways of doing things. I know conditioner is a huge, big wow, but.
Right. It was.
Yeah.
Right, it is though. And so, when you introduce that kind of stuff, do you want to be, are you on the side of the street that you say, okay, I'm going to embrace learning and growing and getting out of the same exact thing every single day? Or do you want to be in that daily grind, and you show up and you put on your smock and you pick up a clipper and you do that, 7 kennel, nose to tail on 15 dogs, and then you put your clipper away, take off your smock, and you go home, and that's it. And there's nothing else in there. And so you're always going to have those two sides of the street. And the thing is that for us as educators and us as people that want to be educated, we need to somehow figure out how to become almost like the Pied Piper. Start to lead those people that are on our side of the street to, usher in these new generations.
And I tried for 6 years. I tried.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. I know it's so hard.
Yeah.
I finally gave up. And what I did instead is I trained someone to groom right before I left. And I hope I instilled in him the drive and the want to learn more. And I think I did. So I'm hoping to see what he decides to do with his career. for sure.
Mm.
Yeah, it is
I
an
think
actual
it's
career.
huge.
People buy houses and put their children through college and have
Mhm.
businesses and take vacations and buy their cars and have nice things and go out to eat and go on vacation. Like it is an actual career. I've had so many people tell me along the way, well, you're gonna hit a ceiling of about 30,000 and you can't really go any farther than that. I'm like, who are you even right now talking to me in my face? Go away. Go away. It is so much more than that. There's no ceiling if you have the drive and the passion to do more and more and more.
Yep.
You limit yourself. There's no limit out here for you in this industry.
Yeah.
No. I mean, we're still the wild, wild west. I mean, really, truly.
Yeah, we are
We
kind
are.
of.
Yep.
I mean, things have changed leaps and bounds since I started grooming.
Mhm.
Leaps and bounds.
Yeah, can you imagine how it's changed since I've started grooming? I mean, it's just been
Early
insane.
90s for me.
Yeah, so it's insane. And
Yep.
and so it's like it's one of those things where you get these people that have a long-standing background within the industry. And then for me personally, I absolutely love when we get these millennials and these young kids that are coming up and they have great ideas and a whole different point of view.
Mhm.
And so like I forget who said it over here that some people are like, oh, I don't want anybody to steal my ideas, so I don't want
Yeah, I think that was Angie. Yep.
yeah. So whoever said that, that's very true because I hear that a lot. Aren't you afraid people are going to steal your ideas? And I'm like, no, because my ideas are just building on the person behind me. I'm standing on their shoulders. So if you take what I teach you, then you stand on my shoulders because my whole goal is to make us all better, not just me better.
Mhm.
How does that affect the industry if we're all just like, nope, this is all my knowledge base right here, and that's the only thing what a waste.
No,
Well,
it needs to be spread.
yeah, absolutely. But not only that, no one has a monopoly on science.
No.
It is true. If a technique is usable and proper and healthy, then it can be replicated in a variety of different climates, in a variety of different water, the pressure, the humidity, all those things. You can duplicate it, and that's what makes it a working theory.
Right.
So until someone makes that working theory better, and by changing the technique or adding to it or taking away something, and proving that to be obsolete and replacing it, that is the scientific method to inquire, to test, to fail a lot. Because then you know all the ways that it didn't work. And then you find out the ways that it does work. And those are the things that get put forward and improved upon and picked apart. I use the same thing when I tell people this concept. So many people are like, oh man, those competitors, those who do the competitions, they're so good. I'll never be that good. I'll never be that good. They were where you are now, clacking scissors, hoping to not make a hole in the coat. Everybody starts somewhere. The reason that they get so good is that they get told what they did wrong every frickin' time. You did this wrong. You did this wrong. You could have done this better. You could have done this better. And they suck it up and they take it in and they learn and they refine it and they refine it and they refine it. And they wake up one day and they got a ton of trophies in their room. These beautiful dogs are on Groom USA or wherever it is that particular skill is going to take them. They didn't get there by saying, yeah, I know that girl. She grooms so much better than me. I'll never be able to groom like that. The majority of people, the reason why one doesn't get off the couch and do something, or it's your belief in yourself and that application today of the hard work it takes to get there. They didn't wake up one day and they can do a perfect poodle and a full continental and get accolades and trophies and money and film time on TV. Those people worked really hard to learn what they do, and they worked, and then they got told over and over again that, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. That's how you improve. That's how you get better. So if you're just going to hold your stuff to yourself, you're living in a bubble, sweethearts. You're just going to be talking to yourself and never growing. And if you're really just, stingy of your information, you have to let it circulate out there to even know that it's worth teaching, to even know that it's worth talking about. It has to be talked about.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think we all need to let go, especially on everybody who's on the course level, the teaching level. I think that there's a feeling, especially when we all first started, of competition, of competitive. Oh, I got to get this information out. Well, you know what? Everybody pretty much agrees that zoonotics, these are the ones you got to watch. These are the ones that are fine. We know that already. So everybody can include that in their curriculum. There's going to come a point in time when the industry will be standardized. And then everybody will be teaching the same things because we agree that they are true and correct and healthy and ethical. So, and if we don't talk about it, if we don't share, if I'm afraid of what's in her course and she's afraid of what's in my course, this, that, and the other, we're not going to get anywhere. We're going to stay right where we're at because we're all just talking in a little bubble. We're only talking to people who approve of what we do.
Right.
You need to talk to people who have all kinds of different opinions so that you could really look at it from a different perspective and say, okay, I do need to tweak that. Ooh, I was wrong over here. Oh, I did mispronounce that. Oh, that isn't the correct spelling. That's what you do. And you do it out of love for each other to improve everyone at all times, at all levels. And we all go up together.
I had that discussion with Darrow and I said, how come we are the only industry that I know of that says, oh, there's this skin and coat class, and that is the class, and that's it. Or there's this whatever class, and that is the class, and that's it. If I want to be a beautician, cosmetologist, I have a plethora of choices of schools and classes and avenues to take. If I want to be a graphic designer, if I want to be a lawyer, anything, you have options and you can choose what schools and what courses and what different ways of building upon your education. Mm-hmm. But within our industry, it's like, here we have this piece of paper and it says, this is the course and that's it. So if you don't take this, sorry, you can't take, that's it. That's all there is. And if somebody else comes along and says, hey, wait a minute, I think I took some of this stuff from this and I built upon it and now I have this, everybody goes, oh,
it's true.
It is. And it's like, what do you mean? Do you mean that other one was no good? No, it's just different. Why can't we just have little tweaks? Like Michelle said, the scientific method is to build upon and pull apart, put it back together, and understand what works and what doesn't. We are an industry. I feel like we are so far behind the curveball here,
Yeah.
To educate ourselves.
Mm-hmm. Well,
I mean,
all we can do
more and more.
All we can do is form groups like the Master Groomers Council of Best Practices. Mm-hmm. If you have not experienced talking about very controversial issues in a forum where you can actually be heard, no one yells at you, it's talked about in a scientific and calm professional manner, please, I invite all of you to sign up for the council. It is unlike anything that you find today in most of the groups. We want to get to the bottom of the truth. We want to get to the bottom of what's best. And in doing so, we learn a lot about each other, how we groom, the best techniques, and what is best for the industry as opposed to what is best for a home salon or a mobile salon. All those things are discussed, but it's in a fear-free environment. I only share generalities about what we talk about because we are under it's a private group, because we don't want, until we publish our findings, we don't want to bring out anything that's going to be critiqued in the wrong way or poo-pooed on. If you want to join and be a part of it, you're welcome to do so. But trolls are not allowed. People who don't go with the program, are not professional, are not allowed. Yeah. But you can talk and you can disagree all you want. And I think that's really important in today's day and age. You can disagree all you want, but we're just going to ask you why. And if you agree, we're going to ask you why. Sometimes everybody agrees on one thing and there's two people that don't agree. I want to know why. I think it's important to know why.
Yeah.
And maybe we can bridge that gap. Maybe there's pieces of that puzzle that we haven't thought about yet. So we need to talk about it so that we can all look at it the same and say, okay, these are the things that we can agree on. Because I already know what
be a master groomer to join, correct, Michelle?
need to be a master groomer. However, when it comes time to vote for the actual text that will get published as best practices of grooming, you get voting rights if you have some kind of a master certification.
I'm working on it
with one of the majors. It could be a feline master. It can be a any IPG, National Dog Grooming Association of America. It could be ISCC. It could be a diploma course that you have achieved. But you have to show that you are pursuing an actual professional master certificate of some sort to vote. Otherwise, you are welcome to come in and absolutely discuss things as much as you want. You may be asked to be on a subcommittee to gather information, maybe peer-reviewed articles and things like that on a certain subject at some point. So you may group up and then present to the council, and then we all discuss it. But that's kind of the flavor that you're getting. That's something that we really don't have as groomers. And I even invite anyone who's not in the USA. You still absolutely can participate. If you are international, I don't speak any other languages very well. I can say hi, bye, and a couple, and that's about it. But if you speak English, you are more than welcome to come in. If you've got a translator, that's cool too. Grooming is grooming, and I think that it needs to be talked about. So I encourage everybody to at least apply and come to a few meetings, see what it's like, see what the kind of things that we talk about. And like I said, eventually we will be publishing the Master Groomers Council of Best Practices book.
Gotta get
of suggestions, or they're not really regulations. A lot of people were thinking, well, how are we going to enforce these? And I'm like, it's not. You don't enforce them. The best people that we could get together at one time that have pursued their education and mastership have come together and agreed, along with a bunch of other people who are grooming and in the industry, and have agreed on these terms and agreed that these are the terms and the definitions and the techniques that are the best
practices.
So it is an ideal to live up to, basically.
We got a couple questions about that. The IGA, is that
I'm not sure. We have not yet reviewed those as a council. So the council approves everything. There's not one person that, I'm not going to say that, oh yeah, that counts, or oh no, that doesn't count, until we put it forth through the council, and the council is going to vote on all of those things, because it has to be everybody's voice and it has to be voted on. So even every piece of that, even deciding what certifications we accept as being, are always voted through the council. So.
And groomer Jen passed her CPG, so that's certified professional groomer. That's
You are welcome.
Congratulations.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So that, and we have had a lot of comments in here that we missed as we were going through. I did see Kim pop in and go, what was the big news? All right, I'm going to drum roll it again one more time for Ashley. Here it is, Kim. Ashley passed and graduated with her first step for her master, with her first diploma towards her master pet esthetician. So that's what we were celebrating tonight.
So there's two levels. There is a basic level that gives you the pet esthetician for a salon environment. And then the master's gives you a pet esthetician with an A, which is a medical designation in the jargon.
Oh, thank you. I've been wondering what that means.
Yes, that's what differentiates them. It's a medical designation, and it will prepare you for pet esthetician work in a veterinary environment. So that's why it's a master, and that's why it's different and separate from the salon use.
Yep.
And it's supposedly also where we have a party, because this is Michelle's favorite part.
We celebrate thing, and this is the deal. Yeah.
We're an hour in. Jennifer just popped in. I'm going to add her.
Hi, guys.
Hey, you made it.
I just finished my WPA meeting, and I thought that given the topic of being very present, that maybe being present would be helpful, at least in the last 5 minutes.
Yep. Yes. How
here.
was it?
So if folks don't know what's going
If
on,
you can talk about it.
yeah, no, absolutely we can, because it's already out on the World Pet Association website. So the most, I think, I say this as a historian and an educator, in addition to being a career groomer, that I believe this will be the most significant sea change, step forward, game changer, next level, taking our profession up which is that the World Pet Association has spent significant money to create a baseline competency exam that is absolutely scientific. Absolutely, it's written like the SAT or the ACT. It's scientific. It's valid. The drawing of the data for it is amazing. It's going to have 100 questions. It's going to be available at testing centers across the United States this year, and already big box stores like Petco, PetSmart, or other people are looking to how it can be used in the grooming industry. But it's just going to be a game changer, guys. And I'm, as a career teacher, I'm one of the lucky few to be on the test writing part of it. And it's just fascinating, the discussions that we're having about how do you assess what's important in grooming. What weight do we give to safety things or client communication or the actual physical act of grooming? And, how do you, how do you test, how do you get the word out to the grooming community? And this is going to be a really neat thing. So I just encourage everybody to check it out. I know several of us here are already involved with it. Michelle, right?
I'm not intrinsically involved, no.
Well, I know you've talked.
We've talked a little bit to her about it, but yes, Kat, I think it is online. I'm not sure how they're. I think
We're at the testing center. I think
yes. So it's going to be just like Jennifer said.
Yeah, it's going to be available across the country at different testing centers on certain dates. There's already going to be study materials that are going to be put up very soon on the WPA website. All the information about it is on the WPA website. And, World Pet Association is, this is the last thing I want to say about it. World Pet Association has put in, I don't even know how much, significant money, hiring top educational testing firms, putting huge staff time to it, huge resources. They're not making a dime off of this. They're going to lose their shirts. They're going to probably spend, $500,000, hundreds of thousands of dollars on this for our industry as a gift. This is a gift from the World Pet Association to the grooming industry, because they feel like, I sort of get the impression, I'm not quoting anybody, don't quote me, but like we're on the front lines of animal care. We've got our hands in it. We get a lot of problems that occur as groomers because dogs die in our care. And, you don't even hear boarding kennels get the grief that, the grooming industry. Yeah, we have got a significantly out there risky way of being in the pet care industry. And they are doing this to help us out of the goodness of their heart. They're not going to make a dime out of this. And it is amazing that they care enough about the safety and well-being of the animals and our clients and the industry and our profession to do this thing for us that they are doing. It's going to be amazing.
I think one of the most significant things when I was talking to Chris Berry about this is that they are reserving multi-millions of dollars in client education once this rolls out.
Yes.
So not only are they educating the groomer at a basic level, so that people who are paying for these services can be assured that if they're certified in this, they're at least at this basic level. But they're going to devote millions with an S, of dollars in client education. And truthfully, that is, for me, that's probably where the most powerful punch of this whole movement is.
Yeah.
Because once you reach the client will tell other clients.
Yeah.
Once you get clients educated enough to ask the right questions, they will only visit grooming salons with a higher level of education, with a higher level of certification, because they know what to look for. Right now, they don't even know. They're like, you will probably get less questions of, could you do the nails as short as you can get them? What kind of a useless question is that? You know what I mean? Sure.
You know, when I tell clients, my clients that who come to me because somebody has really screwed up their dog, shaved down a golden retriever or something horrible like that, and then they have come to me and said, that groomer did this horrible thing, and I'm coming to you because I hear you're the best and you aren't going to do that kind of stuff. And when I tell them that the grooming industry is virtually entirely unregulated, they're all just like, what? They are what? I mean, people are horrified.
Yeah. Hey, maybe I'm gonna throw this out there because we're on a little over an hour now, but maybe we should do an impromptu for us for the Groomers Cut and see if Chris can come on.
That would be nice.
And talk about it a little bit more. So I'll send her a message and see if we can get her on for just a little bit, even if it's a half hour, but just to really tell us more in depth on what's going on and what we can do and what we need to know and so just for some clarity. So.
And just so people know, the questions are going to be in 6 experiences that they have identified as universal to all groomers. For no matter whether you groom in a mobile, at home, you're a house call, you're in a salon, you're in a big box, whatever your mode of being a groomer, that there are some universal things. You're going to check in a dog with a client. You're going to bathe it. You're going to dry it. You're going to do some finish work. You're going to have some facility care, safety cleanup, sanitation, that kind of stuff. There's that piece. And there's going to be personnel and business, like client contract, that kind of stuff. So there's going to be those universal components to it that will apply to everybody, no matter how they groom.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right.
I think it's very promising. I know that there is already dissension about any program that comes out. There's already people that are like, okay, what about this? What about this? I'm like, again, this is the perfect time to talk about these things. Talk about them. Don't fight over them. Talk about them. Talk about them. So,
amen to that. So I'm sorry I missed the show, and I'm sorry I delayed it by coming on later.
That's okay. No, we were chit chatting.
That sends us into our next show. So.
Yeah. I know. We start with March. Guess already? What March is? I know. Thank God. That means spring is coming, and with spring comes allergies. And yes, we have a whole lineup for March, starting with skin allergies. Then we're going to go into nutritional allergies. Melissa, I'm hoping Kate will join us for that one.
I'll tap her again and see what she's up to. I know she's got a lot going on. She's working on quite a few projects that she's committed to right now.
We need 20 minutes.
I know.
I said 20 minutes. She can give us 20 minutes. Come on. Yeah. I'll take 10. 10. So let's see what else we were going to talk about. Well, if you guys want to change this up, we can change it up, and next month we can push this around, and we could just talk about all the different organizations and what they're doing and the certifications that they're offering. So that might be a good month to bring in Bobby, since she knows a lot about each
Definitely.
individual organization
Yeah.
and can talk about their certification process and what it takes to enroll in those. And that would probably maybe a good thing to do for instead. And we can just bump March into April, because April's still spring and we're still going to have allergies. Probably more allergies depending on what state you're in.
Right.
Yay.
So you guys tell me, what do you want? You guys out here in our lineup, everybody online still watching. What do you?
Well, I think the certification thing is definitely something. I think that we should get a hold of maybe some material from the WPA first, and maybe take a read of that. Maybe put it in the Pet Pro files, and see if we can read up on that a little bit, so that everybody can come with a conversation.
Okay.
Yeah, it would be great to get Chris. So let's try to pick a week where she can come.
Yeah, I know. I know. I did see that she was on Mary's podcast, but I don't know, Jen. What did anybody else watch that? Because I'm not. I just what was that? What did you get from that, Ashley?
It was mostly her talking about just giving us like a base overview of what it was. But they didn't really go into depth about what's happening. This was before, they sent out the survey. So it was definitely mostly just being like, hey, this is a thing. We're going to be sending out a survey soon. We're trying to get this going, and just the very, very bare bone basics about it. So I'm definitely interested to get more information from her, especially now that the survey's been done.
It's been done. Did anybody do that survey?
No, it went to 700 random groomers. I didn't.
I got one.
I got one. Interesting results. And I can't divulge too much, but one of the most interesting things that I found is just the breakdown of these respondents that were randomly and scientifically picked. How many people work in salons versus how many people work in their homes versus how many people that work in mobile. And, about 90% of people are either in a salon or in a mobile, more than 90%. And the salon was the biggest one, 2/3 of all people work in a salon business type setting, whether that be a big box or a regular, a private independent business. And then you've got about 15% of people that are doing that. One of the other things that was amazing to me is how many people only do dogs or only do cats. Only 2% of groomers only do cats. And a whole bunch, more than half of all groomers only do dogs. And there's only like 30% of groomers that do both dogs and cats like I do. So that was another interesting thing in the survey.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, all of us right here. How many? Do both?
Do both?
I only do dogs.
Both?
I do both, and I do pocket pets, and I do large animal, and I do fowl.
Wow.
Fowl, I don't do fowl. Pocket pets, I'll take.
I have done bird wing clips and I have done bird toenails, but I
don't groom, but I will. I work on skin issues and foot nodules and deep pyodermas and things of that nature. So,
Groomer Jen asked, what about changing our service agreement forms after WPA testing? What changes will need to be made if there is any kind of standardization post-testing? What services and stipulations will need to have clients agree to?
That's a question for Chris. So
yeah, save that.
Hold on to that one.
Put a pin in it. The test is not mandatory, and it will take time for our industry for it to permeate out into our industry how important it is. But I think that it won't take too long before people will realize that with the client education piece that WPA is doing, that if you can't
pass this baseline competency test, and you can take it as many times as you need to pass it. It's going to be a standard multiple choice test where one of the right answers is going to be right there. And it's going to be about things you do every day, and it's going to be common sense stuff. So there, and it also is going to have accommodations made for people with learning and testing disabilities. All of the standardized test accommodations that you would get with the ACT test, if you had, like, you're dyslexic or something like that. So all of those accommodations will be done just like any professional testing.
Mm.
It's going to be
Good.
neat.
All right. Well, I'm going to get on my side of that. And oh man, I had this really cool little new post up for next month. So I guess I'll put that one on hold. Glad I didn't share it yet. I guess we're going to go through with some serious talking about some certifications up and coming this month.
I think it's important. Yeah,
Yep.
I really do,
Yep.
because everything is starting to coalesce, and
Yep.
I think there is a little pushback from actual legislation and legislators that are coming through in several different areas, not even just in one area or two areas, but several.
Yep.
So I think it's important to maybe to go back and redo our discussion on this type of
Okay.
topic.
So we're going to reach out. We're going to invite Miss Linda Easton and see if she'll come on. We'll reach out to Pam and see if Pam will come on and talk about what's going on with the ISCC. Anybody, Jennifer, do you know somebody from the NDGAA?
Yeah, I mean, Jeff Reynolds is the head of it.
Yeah. So I don't have a connection or a personal contact there. So would you mind reaching out and asking if he would? And I know Bobby has a lot of great information on this too. So let me see if I can get, I think Linda does her show.
Do you want them all on the same night, or do you want them on different days?
No, we'll separate them.
Okay,
Yep.
so I'll just tell them the time slot in the mail.
And we've got 5 weeks through March.
Okay.
So if we have the WPA, the IPG, ISCC, NDGAA, am I missing? Who am I missing? Utah is going backwards. Aw.
That's
Anybody? Yeah, that's sad.
Libertarian streak. Anti-regulation. See what anti-regulation did for you in Texas, friends.
Who am I missing? Why do I feel like there should be more on this list?
There is Intellectual Groomers Association. I don't know if there's still a thing. They were trying to be a certifying organization.
Okay. And what did
AKC offers the SAFE credential.
Then we have the first aid and CPR certification, and then also
that would be safety, right? So safety is.
And then I'd like to reach out also to any of the feline certifications.
Right.
Oh yes, good. Right. Okay.
And IPG is merging with National Cat Groomers Association to create that, so that's pretty cool. Yeah.
Yes, bumblefoot cat, absolutely. Bumblefoot is the saddest thing to see.
Chicken? What is chicken bumblefoot?
Is that something that you actually treat, Michelle?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Is that on birds?
They get a cut on their foot, or they get something embedded because they scratch underneath their little scales, and it creates an infection, and it's swollen. It's kind of like a cyst between the toes, and cyst or something. It's sad, but you can fix them. Yeah, they're fixable.
Wow.
It shouldn't have a cute name.
No.
But it does look like a bumblefoot if you see it on their little foot.
I can't even think what a bumblefoot looks like. What is a bumblefoot? Pet tech, yes.
And Mary would probably do that one.
Yeah, pet tech. Yeah. Angie. Staph infection. All right, I got my work cut out for me. Guys, you're giving me more work. All right, I'm on it.
But you're so awesome, Dara.
Here goes, top of the list. One day at a time, right? One day
Yep,
at a time.
just keep working from the top of the list. That's all I keep telling myself.
Yeah, one day at a time. CMG. Yes, we got all of those. I think I wrote all those down. Okay. All right, ladies.
Yeah.
Gonna go
I'm
feed my
faded.
All
doggos.
I'm
right.
going back to
Longest
bed.
one ever. We have at 2 hours.
I know, an hour and 20 minutes. We
Sorry.
kind of, but it's all right.
I'm partially to blame.
2 hours.
It's just because we missed you, Michelle. We had to make up for last time.
Yeah.
Oh, so sweet.
You did.
All right, Ashley, congratulations. We'll
Thank
be
you.
watching
Yeah.
for your next leg.
Thankfully, Michelle's
And-
giving me a few days break before she starts torturing me again.
This one's gonna
Oh,
be. This
you're
is
loving
hard,
it.
but it's gonna be good. You'll love it.
I'm
It's
sure I
hard, but you'll love it. Yeah.
I can't wait.
I'm ready. Thanks for having me, guys.
All right, have a good night.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.